So every time we have one of these GOP debates, every time Vivek Ramaswamy knocks it out of the park, the machine whinges and they start attacking him relentlessly. Now they've gone as far as lying about what Vivek Ramaswamy actually said. I read a couple headlines and the first few lines of some stories, and their story doesn't match up to what Vivek Ramaswamy actually said. Well, I'll say that the headline doesn't match up to what he actually said, but we're not going to get into that. We've got all kinds of stuff, folks. We've got all this crap going on. We got war in Europe. We've got war in the Middle East. And we're about to have war in South America. That's right. Argentina appears to be building up its military on the border of Guyana. And it appears they're about to invade Guyana. Oh man, it's just, there's so much stuff going on. It's nuts out there, folks. And it's hard to stay vigilant and stay on top of some of this stuff. I'm telling you. Joe Biden's numbers are down. His approval rating is 37%. He doesn't appear to be campaigning very much at all. He's not interested in debates. He barely got on the New Hampshire ticket. He had to send somebody down there overnight to go sign his name on the New Hampshire ballot. That was a while back, but I never mentioned it. I never talked about it on the channel, which it was a story I thought about covering, but something else came up, and, because Biden having to send somebody to go fill out the application or whatever you got to do to get on the ballot. That's not really newsworthy. It was a story, but it's one of those things, I guess. But folks, if these people in South America go to war, that's not good, folks. That means we'll have war on just about every single continent. It's terrible. I know y'all know me. I'm real anti-war. I'm anti-intervention, pro-humanitarian aid for sure. If you want to intervene in that way, but I'm very anti-military intervention, I should say. Should make that clear. Oh, and before I forget, almost forgot to tell you guys, Jamal Bowman got censured. Yeah, that's right. What is that exactly? It's basically saying he's not a very good person. And that's pretty much it. Censoring somebody doesn't really do anything, essentially. It just puts on the record that this person is a piece of shit. Right? Yeah, and also the Oversight Committee now, or the GOP, I should say, the House of Representatives, has now officially introduced the resolution for Biden's impeachment. So there we go. I know I called for impeachment last night after that damn spout of his saying, dangling border security over Ukraine aid, saying he would do more for the border if we approve some Ukraine aid. No, I'm sorry, Biden. That's not how this stuff works. You can't dangle doing your damn job over to get something. That's not how it works. That is not how anything works at all. Sorry. What's up, y'all? How the hell's your day going? Hope y'all are having a pretty good one. Don't forget, smash that like button if you don't mind. If you're new around here, we cover political news. I try to keep you up to date on stuff you're not going to see in the mainstream. So smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because I post videos every day, but sometimes you just never know. So turn on your notifications. But I do always say I try to cover stories that are not in the mainstream, and this is definitely one of those things that are not in the mainstream that people kind of need to know about. Check this out, you guys. House votes to block Biden EV rule. Yeah, this has some very, I guess, good ramifications. If the House wouldn't have blocked this rule, it would have some very, very negative ramifications, and we'll get into that. Check this out. The House on Wednesday voted in favor of blocking a Biden administration rule that expected to shift car sales in the U.S. significantly toward electric vehicles, which we know the Biden administration has been trying to do. And they call Trump an authoritarian, right? Because Trump wants to deregulate stuff and give people more freedom to do whatever the hell they want. While yet the Biden administration is looked at as some kind of, the great unifier, Biden, right? Who goes after half of the country as being extreme racists or something, wants to completely ban sales of gasoline-powered vehicles. Now, you tell me who is authoritarian. Seriously, down in the comments, let me know. Because I don't expect anybody to say Trump, because Biden is doing all kinds of authoritarian shit right now. But let's keep going. The rule in question could move car sales as far as to reach 2/3 electric by 2032. That's insane. That is a very, very big number. You know how many cars we have in the United States? It's a lot. I don't know either. But it's a lot. The bill approved by House Republicans on Wednesday would also bar the Environmental Protection Agency from pursuing any rules that result in limited availability of gas-powered cars. This is great news for me and for you. That means car prices are going to stay low. We don't want car prices going through the damn roof. I don't know why these people are so adamant about getting rid of gas-powered vehicles, but they don't seem to give a damn about private jets and commercial jets and all this other stuff that produce way more CO2 than cars do, right? Why can't we focus on innovating our way out of climate change instead of trying to knock us back to the Stone Age? Doesn't make any sense to me. I believe in human ingenuity myself, so I think we can innovate our way out of any kind of climate crisis that we may possibly have in the future. Despite its House passage, the legislation is not expected to gain traction in the democratically controlled Senate. The White House has already threatened to veto it. In its veto threat statement, the White House defended the rule as being projected to save Americans $12,000 over the lifetime of a new light-duty vehicle by accelerating adoption of technologies that reduce fuel and maintenance costs alongside pollution. Yeah, that's a projection. That is not reality, though. Because if you're not having to develop this stuff, how are you going to save $12,000? Electric vehicles cost a lot more than gas-powered vehicles. There is no way in hell that statement could be true. That by pushing electric vehicles, you're going to save folks $12,000. Yeah, no. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. It also lamented other provisions of the GOP bill that it would catastrophically impair EPA's ability to issue automotive regulations that protect public health, save consumers money, strengthen American energy security, and protect American investments in the vehicle technologies of the future. That was all a bunch of crap, if you ask me. Republicans have criticized the EPA's rule, saying it is forcing a shift to electric vehicles that consumers do not want. That is the truth. A lot of consumers do not want them. I personally don't care, but I personally cannot afford an electric vehicle. So I would be screwed. I would be fucked. I wouldn't be able to have a vehicle, I guess. Bill sponsor Tim Walberg said during a Wednesday press conference that this standard is unattainable. It's unaffordable, and in fact, it's unrealistic. I would happen to agree with that. It takes away what we've always thought as one of the most important principles of Americanism, and that's choice, he said. Boom. Members of the GOP are also trying to push for language to block the rule in an upcoming appropriations bill, with at least one member saying they would consider voting against a funding bill if it does not contain such a provision. That is right. I do not need nor want the government dictating to me what I can and cannot buy when it comes to something like a vehicle. As a matter of fact, when it comes to anything, I despise authoritarianism. These government alphabet agencies, that's all they do. That's all they're put in place for. Is they say they're there for, to watch the consumers, and they're there for safety, and so people don't get screwed. Yeah, no, you're full of shit. You let the market regulate itself. People aren't going to go buy something that's that dangerous for them. If they see people are getting hurt from this, nobody's going to buy it. So why would you make a product that's going to kill somebody? Sure, do studies on food and drug stuff. I'm not saying none of that. We need to know if that stuff is healthy or not. But when you have something like cars or books or ladders or drills, shit like that, we don't need all these regulations regulating those companies into the ground, so they have to jack up prices, making it cost more for people like me and people like you, so we can't afford to buy stuff like this. That's what I don't get about these people wanting to push and push and push these electric vehicles. Let alone we don't have the infrastructure by 2032 to be able to handle all these electric cars on the road. By God, there's over 200 million cars. I'm sure I'm making that up, but I'm almost certain there's over 200 million cars on the road in the United States. I've heard that number somewhere. So you mean to tell me 2/3 of that, right? That's like 120 million cars. 120 million electric cars. Kiss my ass. You're not going to be able to handle that. We barely have any electric recharging stations as it is in my area. There's only one that I know of. I'm sure there's more, but like I said, I don't know about them. But that's neither here nor there when it comes down to it. Sure, that's that's a talking point, I guess. But I don't like the government taking my choices away from me. I like my gasoline-powered vehicles. If you want gas-powered cars to stop polluting, make a better gas-powered car. Innovate your way out of that pollution. The emissions standards on vehicles now are so high that cars really don't produce all that much carbon dioxide. Go look it up. They don't produce that much. So to set that bar even higher and force people to transition to electric cars, yeah, that's an authoritarian regime if I've ever seen one. And that's all I got for this video, folks. Hey, let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. Personally, yeah, if I had a choice between a gas-powered Ford or an electric Ford, if they were the same price and I got the same equipment, I'd probably go with the electric. To be honest with you, they're faster. I like speed. But they're not the same price. They're a lot more expensive. I don't have the infrastructure at my house to be able to do that. If we had, charging stations at every single gas station, you wouldn't really hear much from me. If they weren't trying to force this on us, you wouldn't hear much from me. But they're trying to force us. They're trying to shift the industry a certain way, and that is authoritarian. They're trying to force it upon us. Like I said, I just can't agree with that. Here I go, trying to end the video, starting a whole nother rant. I apologize. Like I said, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think about all this. And thanks for watching. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. And y'all try to have a good one and be positive. Peace.